Oh, it's just unbelievable to see you defend your title again and just put any naysayers to bed around Max Holloway because it's now 3-0 against him.
Yeah, man. Well, that's exactly it, isn't it? You know what I mean? It was there's a story behind it all. That's why we had to do this third one. Even though it was 2-0 against him, we still had to just quiet a few of them haters and a few people that still haven't jumped on board. But I had to go out there do my thing. I was confident I was going to do that, and that's exactly what we did. So I'm happy how it went.
It was so comprehensive, though. There cannot be any other doubts from anyone else across the globe around this.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, that's why I needed to do this. As I said, like it was a lot of people going into it were asking me, well, why are you doing it a third time? I was like, there's a few people that still need to know. It was still a big fight. Everyone wanted to see it, and, so that it made sense in so many different ways. But for my legacy and all that, I just need to close that chapter and do it how I want to do it, like how I want to finish that as well. And to go out there and just shut him out like that, obviously his chin held up. You got to give him credit for it, man. Like I said, I'm like that granite chin. It's gonna have to go eventually. Let's see if I can, I can be the first guy to get him down and finish that fight. But that legendary chin still holds on, So credit to him, but obviously it was pretty clear that I dominated from start to finish.
And I want to get into your head around that side of things of just the talk mid-fight and you being able to just antagonize and say, I'm seeing everything that you're throwing. Like how do you, I guess, sense that early on, but then obviously step it up and throw it back at them as well?
Yeah, man. Well, that's because that's usually him in the octagon talking. He likes to get in people's head and does that. That's how he likes to do it, like to not only physically break you down, but mentally break you down. So I did want to do a bit of that back, like just be like, let him know that I'm too good. But it was more for myself as well,
Yeah.
because again, going into it, I was like, I need that fight. I need to go out there. I want to fight. I want to win every exchange. So I need to have this bit of mongrel in me going into this one. So, but I mean, it was very early in the first round. I'm like, oh man, I'm too quick for this guy. And I think his corner might have said something like, he's like, oh, I might have missed a shot, and they're like going, oh, he's missing everything. I'm like, what, really? I'm going, I can see everything. I'm too fast for this guy. I don't know if I said you're too slow, but like I was like, that's what again, I wasn't trying to be disrespectful to him, but I was let him know and let myself know that, hey, this is going to be a one-way street. You know what I mean? I'm too good. I'm seeing absolutely everything, and you could see that.
So for most mere mortals, though, you've then suddenly broken your thumb, or you've come back and you're sporting it. You've just had the operation on your hand. How then do you just change your mindset and say it doesn't matter about that? I'm going to still dominate this guy.
Yeah, man. It's obviously it depends on the person, right? If something like this happens, how much can it affect you?
Mm.
It can affect you. It can affect you a lot, right? But I mean, for me, it was I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to make it happen anyway. I didn't. You didn't hear me chirping as much once that happened. I had something else to worry about, right? So, but I mean, it was just like, all right, I can still use the other knuckles, so I'll be okay. I just got to be I got to got to be clever with how I do this. But man, it's just that the type of guy I am. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I'm a problem solver. I always have been. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I wasn't too good at school, but I was always good at maths because I'm a problem solver. You know what I mean? Like just things like that. I've always been able to do that and make adjustments. You could see that in a lot of my fights. So that's all it was. It's like, all right, yeah, that might be broken. It's going to hurt if I hit it. Let's try not to hit it. There was a couple of times that I hit it. I was like, poker face. Don't let them know. Yeah, it was a man. It was a. It just you just got to like it was funny because I did bring it back to the corner. I end up telling them like, oh my left hand, like I whisper it to them. Obviously, you don't want people to know.
Yeah.
They didn't say too much. The third round, I said it again to them. And then my coach whispers in my ear, leans over. I won't, he swears, I'll try and beep that out because I don't want to hear you beep, mention that beeping hand again. And that's what
Just
he
gotta
mentioned.
move
Very
on.
quiet.
Block
That's what
it
he said
out.
in my ear. And then I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I know what he's saying. Like, that's it. Just block it completely out. Even though I was still doing okay with it, but it's still on my mind. Like, why are you bringing it up?
Yeah.
Why are you bringing it up? You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like, I'm dealing with it already. And me thinking about it ain't, you know what I mean, ain't going to change it. So just keep doing what you're doing. Stop stressing about it. Move on. And I was like, yeah, sweet. So that's exactly what I understood exactly what he meant, and we did that. And yeah, again, I hit it a few more times
Yeah,
after that. It
exactly.
hurt, but I mean, it was all good.
And you mentioned obviously Holloway's granite chin, but I
Mhm.
mean, you open him up above the eye. How quickly then do you focus on that and say, I'm going to open up this even more and just make sure it's
Oh
a
man,
bloodbath?
I wasn't really trying to aim for it, to be honest. You're probably right. I probably should have, but I mean, at the same time, I'll just aim at his head, right? Like I'll just make sure I get that. At that time, I'll just make sure I hit the right part of my hand. and make sure I make contact the right, at least the head. I don't want to miss it. And so again, I had to be pretty strategic. But man, that cut was big.
Mm.
And that's exactly what I said. I remember landing the shot, and then like I just sort of so can't come off the shot a bit, and I look up and I could just see it opened
Yeah.
so deep. That was before the blood and everything, so I could see like everything,
Yeah.
bone, like it was deep, and I was like, man, that's bad. Like I said it to him. I look at him, that's bad. I look at the ref. I go, man, that's bad. Just letting him know, letting everyone know, mate, you're probably gonna have to look at this thing, man. Like it was crazy how big that was. Probably the worst cut I've ever seen. But obviously that's just the cut. He didn't, he's tough as well, right? Like
Yeah.
you got to give Max credit. Like I landed some big shots. He was just eating them and kept moving forward. Things weren't going to plan for him, and he just kept moving forward. But that's the type of guy. So we were prepared for that.
Your message post-fight was stand up for yourself. I want to dig into that around, like who were you talking to there and I guess your upbringing as well?
Yeah, man, it was look, there was a lot of especially through that trilogy. And again, I've fought nothing but fan favorites as well. There was a lot of bias. I'm an Aussie bloke bringing that belt back home to Australia. So, they don't like that over there too much. You know what I mean? And so it's there was a lot of bias. Whether it's biased commentary, some bias media over there, and like so, just the treatment was, what I mean, like yeah, there was some haters, and it goes deep. You know what I mean? Like, and then obviously you talk about USADA waking me up middle of the night, and like what I mean, it goes on. So I was unfairly treated. They were trying to bring me down in many ways, and I was like, that ain't happening. You can try and bring me down. You can say what you want. You can do what you want. You ain't breaking me. I'm gonna stand up for myself, and you're gonna jump on board. Now, I'm that guy. And exactly. So that was my message. Just be like, hey, if people are gonna bring you down, don't crumble under that pressure. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Be strong, stand your ground, keep moving forward, baby.
You've obviously now, pound for pound, the #1 fighter in the globe, taking over from Kamaru Usman. How does that feel to take that sort of #1 pound for pound title?
It's like obviously you want to take all the titles and that you can, but I mean for me, it's not up to me to say like I'm pound for pound #1 and things like that. But I think a resume that I have, it speaks for itself. So it's cool when you start getting the recognition you deserve. Again, like even it seemed like I wasn't getting the recognition again. Like there was so many things that was why I felt the need to have to say something like, stand up for yourself. Don't let these guys bully you. You know what I mean? Like, booze and you name it. But it goes really deep. But it's cool, to get that recognition now.
So that resume now, you want to add the lightweight as well and be a double champ?
I want to add a lot to that resume. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So again, like I said, I want to be active. And I've proven that I want to be active, and I've done it. And I'm planning on, as soon as this heals, I'm going to stay fit. Get me back in there.
What is that cadence? How often do you want to be fighting?
Man, I want to defend, like I said, I want to get that belt, that lightweight title, and I want to defend both belts a couple of times a year. So I'm talking about like 4 times a year, mate. Could you imagine that?
Amazing.
We're talking some serious money, looking after my family. That's why I do this, you know what I mean? So that's exactly right. I'm not going to be young forever. I'm at my peak right now. Let's take advantage of that.
Amazing.
Defending both belts twice a year, four title fights. Well, how's that going to be for the legacy as well? You know what I mean? Like like I said, that resume, we're going to rack it up.
Well, that was one of the reasons you did jump into, I guess, the #1 pound for pound, because Usman hasn't fought since November. So your regularity of fights and ability to just stand up to the punishment but take it to others is just phenomenal.
Yeah, man, that's it. Like it does. A lot of it goes into that. To stay active, and which was hard. Obviously, a couple of years ago or a year ago, and that was hard to try and stay active. But now we can, and that's why I'm like, hey, I wasted enough time then. I was like, get me in there and get me in there regularly. So that's what we're going to keep doing.
And so, who's that next fight look like being?
Well, it just depends on that lightweight division. What's happening again? I would love to I would have called out. If this didn't happen, I'd be like, going, hey, I want to fight Charles for that belt. But whether they're doing that, I think I might have heard whispers maybe October. Islam and Charles might be fighting, so they'll have a champion, whether it's a winner of that or defend in Australia. I want that. I want to defend my belt. I deserve to defend my belt here in Australia, and the Australian fans deserve it as well. So we're going to make that happen, and we're already in talks to making that happen. So I can't wait to do that, whether it's defending my belt or fighting for the lightweight title, whatever it is. Again, I want to be active. Get me in there as soon as possible, defending my belt in front of a home crowd.
You got a great relationship with Israel Adesanya, and I guess we saw some of the photos of you guys partying afterwards and things like that. Well, tell us about that relationship.
Yeah, man, yeah, it's good. Like obviously, I'm based here at in Australia at Freestyle Fighting Gym, but we do go over to City Kickboxing. So we were one big team,
Mhm.
and it was good. We had a few of us fight on that night, and then man, it's just like that team camaraderie we had like all week, and that was incredible. Even during the camp, and then to have it all week, it was man, it was a buzz, mate. We absolutely loved it, and then obviously partying afterwards as well. It's always good. So because I remember the last time we were on a card together was in Perth. We both had won, and then obviously partied hard after that. So we're
Sensational.
like, hey, that's what we're going to do. We're going to enjoy ourselves all fight week, enjoy ourselves on the night, and then after we're going to party and celebrate some victories, and that's exactly what we did.